Hey guys, it's Miss Landry, and I wanted to go over the quiz. Some of you guys struggled on this a bit, so I want to go over a few of these, and then I'll give you another chance on a similar quiz, but with different, obviously with different questions. So you guys did a good job when the lines were straight. So example would be number 2, when they go from A to, where's E? E must be way up top here. Hang on. Yep, A to E. All you got to do there is just count the tick marks, right, for the distance. And obviously the distance and the displacement would be the same because you're not backtracking or going diagonal. So those are really simple questions. Make sure, though, that you're counting the tick marks properly. Assume that that blue dot is going to be this blue dot right here, wherever you're counting to is on the line. So assume it's on the line. But let's try one where it is not quite as simple as that. Let's try number 4. Okay. So what is the distance and displacement from point B to point C? Okay, so it's a diagonal line. This is not something you can get by counting because even if you count across the square, it's not going to be exact. So in this case, you have to use Pythagorean theorem, right? And if you remember this from math, a squared, oh, this is a horrible job that I'm doing, plus b squared E equals c squared. So you're basically finding the hypotenuse of this triangle. So what you have to do, and I'm going to do this in a different color, is you have to figure out this distance in green and this distance. Okay, so let's say that this is A. So I'm going to count. Okay, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. So A, ouch. So A is 3. And then let's say that this bottom line here is B. And I'm going to count again, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So B is 4. So I'm going to plug those into this equation right here. And that is basically going to give me 3 squared plus 4 squared. This is hard to write on, so just bear with me, all right? So what does that come out to? That's 9 plus 16, so that's 25. That's going to be your c squared value, but obviously we can't keep it as a c squared. You need to take the square root of that, and that's going to equal 5. So that means that this distance right here is 5. Now you have to look at your units as well, and it gives it that in the instructions. But in this case, for number 4, what is the distance from B to C? It would be 5 meters. What is the displacement? It's actually going to be the same. So it would also be 5 meters. And I want you to notice it's also asking for direction of the displacement. If you just look at your usual little thing here, north, east, good Lord, this is hard to type with, south and west. So the direction on this one would be in this direction, right? Because it starts at B and goes to C, so the direction would be northeast. Got it? So let's try one more, another more difficult question. Why don't we do, let's try question number 8. This one right here. So F to E to A to G. So we're going to start with F. We're going to go to E. Okay, so you got to get this distance right here. It is not a straight line, so you're going to have to, I'll do this in highlighter so you can see what you have to actually get here. You need to get this distance from F over to the y-axis and up to E. So if I count that, it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this distance on this side is 8. Now, I'm not getting the distance for this. I'm just trying to figure out my A and my B. Okay. And then on the other side here, going up, I've got 1, 2. Ooh, I kind of colored over it. Let me erase that so I can see what I've got here. Come on, eraser. This is not erasing very well, but we're going to go with it. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3. So we're going to count this one as 3. So that means if I plug that into our equation here, I have got 8 squared, which, as you know, is 64. 8 times 8 is 64, plus 3 squared, which is 9. So that gives me 73. So to get this distance from F to E, I need to take the square root of 73. Okay, so that just gives me that distance. And then after E, I'm going to go to A. E to A is simple. That is just from here. That is a distance of 8. Okay, so far for this one, I have the square root of 73 plus 8. This is really hard to write, you guys. Doing this on my trackpad, so bear with me. And then after A, where am I going? I'm going to G. So that's another easy one. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. So plus 4. That is my distance. Now, I would not accept this as an answer. You'd actually have to calculate what the square root of 73 is. I don't have a calculator on me, so you guys can figure that out. And I apologize. I'm typing this in number 7, but we're actually doing number 8. Now I need to get, let me erase what I've got on here. Now I need to get the displacement for this problem, right? And this is really hard to erase too. So let's take a look at the displacement. Basically, where did I start? I started at letter F, correct? And I finished at letter G. So my entire displacement is really just from here to here. That's my displacement. Started with F, so this was my initial. G is my final. Okay, so I have to go through and figure out the distance of this this line right here. So the easiest way to do that again is to use the same process. So I'm going to figure out what this line is, and I'm going to figure out what this line is, and then use the Pythagorean theorem to get the answer. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 6, which if I square that is 36. And then over here, I've got 1, 2, oh my God, I can't do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 squared is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. So I get, what do I get? 52. So then the distance or the displacement for this line right here is going to be the square root of 52. Okay. Again, I don't have a calculator. You can do that on your calculator. If you need help figuring out how to do the square root on your calculator, you can ask me in class. What direction is it? Remember, we started at F. We went down to G. So if we look at it, we're going in this direction. So then the direction is southeast. All right. So I want you to redo this worksheet. We're going to count this as a worksheet, but I want to see all your correct answers. I want you to actually do your work on a separate sheet of paper so I can see your actual work. And once you do that, then I'm going to give you the second try on the quiz. Hope that helps. Thanks.